declaring the winner by TKO, Geoff Hands of Steel Neal.
December 2019, I was in this very same octagon. Awkward, 20-year-old kid trying to talk to you about personalized M&Ms. Here we are 5 years later. I feel like I belong. 10 fights. I'm here.
Chase the dream.
Welcome to UFC Unfiltered. Please tell me that's on video. I've never been happier. I'm made for a fucking podcast. That's dangerous. Listen to me, we're out of here.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to UFC Unfiltered, a UFC and Fanatics original production. Matt is down in Austin with Dean Thomas. They're doing that MMA show, Rogan's MMA show. So thanks, Forrest, for coming. I appreciate you coming in.
Oh, thank you. Happy to fill in for the greats.
Where are you now? Because that's a very different background than normal.
This is my house.
That's nice.
Yeah, no, I'm running late. Zoom on my Zoom. I got a new computer. I don't have Zoom uploader. It's a whole.
You put it together.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring Geoff Neal in a minute. We have him and Chase Hooper today. This card, we interviewed Drakus on Monday. And what do you think of this matchup with Chimaev? Like, I hate when it looks so obvious. Like, well, Chimaev's been running over, but he's also been dragged into the third round by two guys, and he did get tired. So what do you think of this matchup?
I think I love it. I love the matchup. I love the fight. I love the fact it's the fact. It's the fight. I'm just looking at the notes here they sent me. They did our homework for us, in case you're wondering, audience. And they did it well. But I'm really happy. If you think about it, after his last fight, what did Drakus say? Hey, Chimaev's the guy. Everybody knows it. So he's not like trying to Chimaev needs to get healthy and get over here. So I'm excited about that. And it's truly, I know Chimaev is the favorite because of everything he's done and whatnot. But Drakus is a competitor, He's down to party. So I'm excited.
We should bring in Geoff Neal too, who's got a very interesting fight against Carlos Prates, number 11 against number 12. Hey Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
We're great, man. We're great. We don't have to fight people in a cage anymore, so we're good.
Hey, I'm doing great. I like it. So I still love it so far.
You get to fight people in a cage for money. That's awesome.
Did you watch Carlos's fight against Garry? I'm sure you did. And
I did.
You had a very competitive fight against him. What did you think of that matchup?
As far as his I can't compare our fights because Ian's a gamer, so he approached both fights totally different. You know what I mean? Ian didn't fight me nowhere near how he fought Carlos, so I can't really use that fight as a gauge as to me beating Carlos. But
so you're not willing to do the MMA math for us and just A equals B, therefore it must
yeah.
Yeah, I guess when guys try to do that, right? Maybe it can be helpful, but at times it can backfire if you start expecting things to happen that just don't happen because they're approaching every fighter differently.
Yeah, for sure.
How are you feeling? I mean, it's been 5 years since you had your trip to the hospital, and it's amazing to see how well you've done and how good life is. You're feeling good. And did that change your perspective on anything?
Yeah, I mean, it made me appreciate every moment. But outside of that, I feel good. I feel better. You know what I mean? It took me a while to get back into it because I actually had congestive heart failure from it. So I was at the beginning, right after, I was just scared to push it in training because once my heart started, my heart would just start beating fast and I would go into panic mode thinking I'm about to die. So it took a while for me to really put the pedal to the metal and get back to where I used to be.
It was one of those things where it took you a while to begin trusting that your heart would be okay if it sped up and it was doing what it was supposed to do.
Yeah, 100%.
What exactly, forgive my ignorance, congestive heart failure, Does that mean that it is mimicking a heart attack, or what exactly is that?
I have no idea. Like I've looked it up, man, and there's like 3 stages of it. You know what I mean? Like, or maybe there's more than 3 stages, but like the final stage is like the worst one. I think I had the first one, and then my kidneys failed as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a whole mess.
But you've been healthy for 5 years. You know, you're coming off good performances. All's good. All's well.
Yeah, all's well. All's well. That's a thing of the past now.
And I think too, correct me if I'm wrong, but when something like that happens, it gives you all that more, you know, the motivation and appreciation. You know, you almost had, you know, your just the ability to move around and exercise taken from you, and now you still get to fight. So it's kind of, you might see it as a blessing too. You know, you can, hey, now I can do this thing. You can really appreciate it.
No, for sure. You know what I mean? Taught me not to take this for granted. You know what I mean? This is the opportunity to be in the UFC and fighting on the biggest stage in the world, you know, and like having that happen, and I'm still here, still able to do it. You know what I mean? I'm still ranked, you know, so like I'm just I'm fortunate, and I'm happy.
You fought a lot of guys. I mean, you fought a lot of different strikers, really dangerous guys. What makes him unique? Is there anything that makes him unique in your eyes?
Oh, he's a lefty. It was like I fought only one left. I fought RDA. He was lefty. He's lefty, and he has power in his hands, like his rear hand and his rear leg.
He's long too, isn't he?
He's unique. You know what I mean? Long, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's long, and he knows how to use his distance well. So I mean, it should be a good fight. I can't wait to go out there and show the people what I've been working on.
Cool. What's the game plan?
Punch him in the face.
What's the game plan?
That's it. That's the gist of it. I'm gonna punch him. I'm gonna punch him really hard.
Punch him in the face more than he punches you, and preferably harder. That's a good plan.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I ask you about, it's funny you say game plans too. Guys do have them, right, going in. And a lot of times, even in football, they'll say like the first 20 plays are scripted, and they have this game plan. Like, what will immediately take you out of a game plan? I mean, I know the old thing about getting punched in the face, but like, how long do you stick with a game plan if you're not sure if it's going to work, or how many setbacks do you give it before you just abandon it?
I mean, usually, like, so I do have a game plan for Carlos. You know what I mean? Like a strategic one. It's not nothing like too concrete, but you know what I mean? If he comes out different than what I'm expecting, you know what I mean? I have plan B's, plan C's. So, you know what I mean? I'm just going to adjust and you know what I mean? And I might have a game plan, and it might work the first round, and then he might go to the second round, and then his coaches police him up, and then he changes his approach, and I'm gonna have to change my approach. So I have just different ways of just different things that I'm going to do. I'm going to stick with the first one, and then if he does something else, I'm going to go to the next one, then to the next one, then go back to the first one. Just keep doing like that.
And you know that if you look, like, he's fought some very good fighters, and he's beaten some really good fighters. But if you look at the guys you've fought, I think that you've had definitely a longer and more a harder list of guys that you've had to deal with.
I mean, I guess I could say that. I don't like it's like that's like MMA math. You know what I mean? It's the UFC. So I can't really say the guys I fought were harder, you know what I mean? And who's to say that he couldn't beat the guys that I beat, you know? So it's me and him on Saturday, and we're just gonna see who's better that night.
Is MMA math something like that idea of something that you try to avoid because, again, it could put your head in a weird place, or you could wind up expecting something that just doesn't happen?
Yeah, no, for sure. I remember I lost to Neil Magny. Luque beat Neil Magny, and I beat Luque. You know what I mean? So it's you just never know. Like I don't look at my opponent's records and who they beat, and if it's like recent, I don't know. I just don't. I don't believe in MMA math. Anybody goes down at any given moment.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like you never step in the same river twice. You know, you're different. Every fighter shows up a little different.
For sure.
They had a little different weight cut. You know, who knows what was going on, or, you know, you're always a little banged up, but sometimes you're a little banged up and sometimes you're a lot banged up. And, you know, there's so many variables. It's really hard to determine. One thing I've always liked about you is, you know, we did like an audio kind of podcast together way back when, is you never, ever give your opponent like that locker room headline. You never give them anything to motivate them. You know, I've never heard you say, I'm going to smash this guy, I'm going to crush this guy, or this guy's a cannon. like that. Why not? Why don't you talk more shit on people? It might help your career.
It's just I mean it might, but it's not my character. So like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go against the grain. You know what I mean? I enjoyed like the art of competition. You know what I mean? It's honorable. So you know what I mean? Like I have respect for my opponent. So I like to keep that. You know what I mean? A lot of people like talking shit. That's just not me. If that's you, that's you. But I'm not going to indulge in that shit.
No, I make light of it, but I've always known that. I noticed that about you early on, and I've always really appreciated it. That's my kind of competitor. You know, it's competition, and you're there to compete,
Yeah.
enjoy it, and that's pretty awesome.
Does it ever like that's a really interesting point too? Does that stuff affect you at all? Like, because some guys, and again, I go way back to Aldo and Connor, where Jose never really was a talker, and then they had the face off, and Jose kind of came in almost like out of character for him, and it seemed like a lot of what Connor had said had really gotten to him. Has it ever gotten to you when someone's doing that? Because I think that could actually take somebody and cause them to do more than they are intended to, and overthrow or whatever.
Yeah, it's just like you just you know what I mean? Ian tried it with me like a few times, you know what I mean? Granted I lost a fight, but I never got out of character, you know what I mean? I stayed in character. It's kind of sometimes it's hard because people piss you off, you know what I mean? But you just got to get back to you know what I mean? Center yourself, you know what I mean? Remember what you're doing and focus
and not allow it, because I see when guys do it in the cage, it always seems like because again we're still people, right? Like it just seems like it's such a hard thing to shut off. Like if a guy like Bobby Green who's really good at it, and again that can cause somebody to make a mistake. I'm sure if it pisses you off enough.
No, that's for sure. Yeah, it can. Fortunately, I haven't like had too many of those. You know what I mean? Most of the time, my opponents has been real respectful. You know what I mean? They gave me the same respect that I gave them. So hopefully that trend continues.
Yeah. I think it will. I think it will Saturday night too. But one thing on that, Jim, is a lot of people like a Kevin Holland. They do that not to even piss you off, but just to give you one more layer of things to think about. So now you have these words coming in you, and you do kind of hear them and recognize them, and that's just one more thing to think about. You're also trying to listen to what your corner's saying. You're also, you've got so many things going on with the flow of the fight, even if it doesn't upset you. Yeah.
It's funny because like I fought Kevin Holland back in the regional scene.
Yeah.
And he did that shit to me. That was one of my pro losses. He was talking to me the whole time in the cage, and it was just throwing me off. I could not focus on the fight.
It's a layer of additional information, and kind of like stop. I'm trying to do,
shut the fuck up. Let me just punch you, dog.
Yeah.
But Kevin is different in that, like, he does talk shit, but he also legitimately seems like he's having a good time.
Yes.
And it never seems like it's coming from an awful place. And if you hit him, he seems to acknowledge that as well, that he got hit.
Yeah, like I was fighting him.
I was talking to Dana as he was submitting, with the Chinese dude that doesn't even speak English, but that had to be the worst.
Yeah, no, for real. No, I was fighting Kevin, and I'm winning. Like I think it was like the first 2 rounds I'm winning, but after like the whole time he was acting like he wasn't losing. So I'm confused, and it was just getting to me. Like I'm hitting him, I'm taking him down, punching him in the face, and he's just like smiling and laughing, just like having a good old time in there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's a point, Forrest. I never thought of that point. Like even if you're not mad, it's still other information. And like you're trying to concentrate, and this guy's still yapping at you, and it's hard to concentrate when the guy's talking to you and hitting you.
That's when you try to teep people in the face. It's the teep to the face. If they're talking, teep to the face.
All right, yeah. Hey, note taken. I'm gonna do it.
And how hard is it as fighters? How hard is it not to get frustrated? Like you see a guy like MVP, the way he fights, very interesting style, hands down a lot. And you can see even Kevin got frustrated. Fighting. How do you avoid that when a guy is doing something that is really pissing you off? How do you not show it?
I mean, I haven't even mastered that art yet, so I can't even give you something about it. Like, you know what I mean? That like Ian was frustrating me how he was fighting, you know what I mean? And like and then I started just swinging and like just going forward, and then we ended up in the clinch every time. So it was just that's one thing I need to work on. You know what I mean? Like you train for a fight, you think a fight's gonna go a certain way, and then the fighter's doing all this extra shit, and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough thing.
Well, I got a feeling that Prates is not going to do it. I got a feeling
No.
he's going to come, he's going to set his range, and he's going to start
Yeah.
trying to blast. So I think
No,
this will be. I mean, this is a really exciting matchup between you
yeah,
and him.
for sure.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
excited.
we're gonna fight. Like that's why I'm excited. Like the fans are gonna love it. I'm gonna love it. I hope he loves it. We're gonna have a good night.
Jeff, always good talking to you. Number 11 against number 12. This is a huge fight in the division.
It should be, yeah.
This whole card is unbelievably good. It seems like every pay-per-view, I think, like, this is the best card, but this card is fantastic. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy you're on it. And we'll see you Saturday night, man. Have a great fight.
All right, man. Appreciate the interview, y'all.
Okay, take care, buddy. Be good. Yeah, that's the featured bout on that. And I think Lerone Murphy, Aaron Pico is a really interesting co-main.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
I took Lerone in that by decision. But
Lerone, isn't he? What is it? 3 weeks notice? I think.
don't know.
I think he took it. Yeah, it's like 2.5, 3 weeks notice. I'm pretty sure Pico was matched up against what's his name, and then this we forgot. People get hurt, whatever. So it is a late note. But again, Lerone Murphy's one of those guys stays in the gym,
Yeah.
stays ready, and sometimes that's the best because you don't have time to overthink it.
I was going to ask you that actually. Like,
Just try to be the best version of yourself instead of think about, well, he does this and he's good at that. I was like, well, I'm really good at this. That's the game plan. It's, so you think about game plans. We were talking a little bit about it. You can have a game plan based on your opponent, and you can have a game plan based on exploiting your strengths.
And when you look at coming off the couch, because Matt points that out a lot about when we talk about Usman and Chimaev and how well Usman fought him, kind of just coming off the couch. Do you know who was Chimaev supposed to fight? I don't know if anybody. Do you know who he was training for? Because
but I know that Jake has access to the internet, so he'll tell us in about 30 seconds.
Jake, if you could, because it's almost like the point was he wasn't training for Kamaru either. So it's like even though he's been in camp, he was expecting somebody else. So
yeah, and that makes a big difference too.
You think not having the time to think about it will sometimes make it a little bit less pressure for you?
Yeah.
Let's see. It was supposed to be Paulo Costa.
Paulo Costa, yeah.
That's a different matchup. But I don't like how everybody's kind of writing off Duplessis. Like I know there's a favorite in the fight, there's an underdog.
Well, it's not that big. Yeah, it's not. I mean, people still give him he's a dog. People still give him a dog's chance. And I was watching the little countdown and his coach called it right. I was like, yeah, the first 10 minutes are going to suck. But after that, remember, this is a 25-minute fight. Yeah. Duplessis can fight for 25 minutes. We've seen that.
Yeah. What is if you have to fight a guy like Chimaev, a guy who does? His strikes are really good. He's not
you said Chimaev in my ACL tour as you said it, so now I don't have to fight him. So problem solved right there.
But a guy like that, where you kind of know what he's going to do, like what his specialty is. What's your mentality going in? Like, I have to stop. I think Duplessis said, like, I know I'm going to get taken down. Like, it's going to happen. So it's just, what do we do from here? Do we grapple? Do we stop?
And this is what, if you look at when guys fought Kane, they knew at heavyweight, they knew they were going to get taken down. And, some guys actually did a really good job of almost accepting the takedown, but then getting back up immediately, right? Or, finding areas in the scramble where maybe he leaves his chin open or something, I was watching Chimaev wrestle with, I think it was Pat Downey or somebody that's amazing. And I was like, how is this guy not in the Olympics, for wrestling? And then, he goes in there. He also has the ability to gunsling. He's got power. He's got great energy. If you think about, we talk about the fights that went the distance, he still was throwing bombs. So, of course, he gets tired. He throws bombs and he wrestles hard. There's no way to not get humanly tired to do what he does.
I also wanted to mention that I think it's going to be a great fight. I don't know. I like Duplessis. I want to see Duplessis win, but I am the kiss of death because whenever I choose somebody, they wind up losing. Duplessis versus Chimaev. It's going to be a great fight. And it's not like this is a top-heavy card either. Look up and down on UFC 319. It's clear that UFC's matchmakers wanted this to be a memorable night for fans inside Chicago's United Center. Even if you're not in the building on Saturday night, doesn't mean you're not going to get your hands on merch from this event. That's where Fanatics and the UFC store.com come in. Official event t-shirts, fighter merchandise, you name it, it's there. Doesn't matter. You're a fan of Chimaev, Duplessis. You can get yourself a pair of their official Venom fight shorts in your own size. Now is the time to get your UFC 319 merch. Go online and get it while it is still available. It's funny, man. When I go to events, I still want to go and buy merch. Like it's never the idea of being able just to go in there. Like one of the advantages of being an adult and like having a decent job is you can go to an event and buy all the shirts you want. That's still one of my favorite things to do at an event.
Let me tell you what my favorite thing to do is. My favorite thing to do is to wear my UFC 49 shirt to current events and be like, read it. UFC 49, sucker. I got a t-shirt from them. Okay? Don't tell me you're a fan. I'm a fan. You don't know nothing. It's funny. We were talking about MVP, and he's on this card
against Cannonier,
Jared Cannonier, no less. Which is, man, I love Jared Cannonier. He's another guy who's great, but that's a tough fight for him.
It's a very tough fight, and I mean, they're both a little
puzzle.
What's that?
MVP is a puzzle.
Yeah, and when you saw Holland have a frustrating experience with him,
yeah.
And Kevin doesn't get very frustrated, and he's good at actually doing that. Matt picked Page by decision. Yeah, he did. And that's not a crazy pick.
Though. I mean, I can see that because, Cannonier, he's not a wrestler. He's a MMA fighter, but he's probably going to need to rest a little bit in this one just because of Page's reaction time, his length, and everything.
I'm looking at his last fight, that Gregory Rodriguez fight. I mean, Cannonier is never out of a fight. And the decision he lost to Brojio. But I don't know. I think Venom Page may have a good shot at a decision as well. That's why I didn't bet that. I like Jared a lot, and Jared can knock anybody out. But, I mean, it just seems like nobody has really been able to get to Michael Page. So that's another great fight. Chase Hooper is coming in a little while. He's fighting Alexander Hernandez. Which is he's on a 5-fight win streak now, Chase. I think since changing weight classes, he's I think he came on the show, and I think that was what really turned it around. Is what he did. That's what I like to believe. Episode, I think he's gone 5-0 since then. That is really a good way to look at it, because typically when guys come on here, it's not great luck for them. And I always feel bad about that. Like if somebody comes on, we have a great interview, and they get knocked out in the first round, I'm like, they're going to
don't tell anybody that. Jeez.
I know. I can't help it. It's like I can't just do the read. I have to ask the question.
The back pocket. We don't tell the fans. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. I really am. I should just keep my mouth shut. But
you probably tell your old lady what you're really thinking too. I've been married for like 20 years. That's a horrible idea. Don't do that.
It's a
keep that inside.
Idea. Yeah. What I'm thinking and who I'm thinking of at certain times. You're better off just not saying a word. What do you think of Asakura against Tim Elliott? I think I have.
I'm glad you hit that one. Well, Tim Elliott, what is Kai? He's only had one fight, a loss in the championship, right? So, but no, Tim Elliott, lifelong scrapper, and he's actually ranked higher than Kai. Again, we only have the one not so great performance, and and again, this happens to the guys that come to the UFC sometimes. This happened to what's his name? I forget, the 135-pound champ that came.
Steve Erceg?
Patchy. So he took that fight on relatively short notice. Like he was healthy, he was training, but he still took the fight on short notice. And Kai took that championship fight on short notice. They kind of knew it was going to happen, but it wasn't like, they signed him to the UFC, and the next day they're like, oh, he's fighting for the belt. It's kind of, ouch. So this would be a good fight for him. However, Tim Elliott is a bad stylistic matchup for anybody.
Yeah,
he reminds me of a guy they used to call the Plastic Man, Stacey Augman. His body just does things that they shouldn't do, and he just takes people in weird positions, and he's happy to fight off the back foot, the front foot, the middle foot, on the ground, on the top, on the bottom. He's fighting you from everywhere, and he's just kind of one of those guys, you know.
And there is something when guys come in, like, Ursi, I mentioned, he had that really tough loss his first fight, which he could have, I thought, won that fight, and then took a couple of losses in a row, and you wonder, like, wow, is it getting to him? So I was kind of happy for him that he got that decision win last week. Sometimes, like Pitbull, his first fight,
Yeah.
He froze. Again, Trump was there. It's got to be a lot of pressure on a car. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
When the president of the United States is watching you fight, it's your first time in the organization. And in the second fight against Dan Ige, he seemed to kind of settle in a little bit more and kind of.
I gotta watch that one again. I think I watched it live, and I wasn't really, not a ton happened. Was that what happened in that fight?
Not the most.
Not your typical Dan Ige or just both of them or Pitbull fight. It's kind of interesting. Yeah.
And there's other great fights. Mirshard against Olejchuk is a prelim fight. This is how good this card is. Drakkar Klose against Barbosa.
Former champion Jessica Andrade, Lupe Godinez. I'm always interested to watch Jessica fight because, again, I don't know if you ever met Jessica Andrade, but she's a tiny human being. But she can pick anyone up and slam them. She can knock anyone out with her hands, and she always fights aggressive. I don't care what her game plan is. She's always looking to because most women aren't used to being punched that hard by another woman, to be honest.
Right.
So it's pretty, and you got a guy like, Edmund Barbosa, who's just a, lifelong gamer.
Yeah.
He's on the early prelims.
That's what I was saying. It's the main fight of the prelims, him against Klose. That's how good the card is. Brian Battle is on the early prelims.
Ultimate Fighter winner, wasn't he?
Battle?
Yeah, didn't he win the Ultimate Fighter?
I don't know.
Jake, did he win the Ultimate Fighter or did he lose in the finale? It was one of those two. Anyway.
Whenever I pretend I know something, I don't know it. He won.
He won. He won the Ultimate Fighter. Yeah, I thought he did. I just have zero confidence in myself. It's understandable.
No, I understand. The best people have no confidence. And also, King Green against Diego Ferreira as the main fight of the prelims. That is another great fight, man. Green, one good thing about Green is the way he is in the cage is like he's a guy, it's like a Michael Chandler, like his fights are always good. Even if he loses, you always want to see him fight. So he's a guy that
anybody, anywhere.
Yeah. There's certain guys
in the parking lot. He does not care.
No, if they lose, okay, but you're still going to watch them again.
If they went back to like kicks in the head and no times, he would be down for that too. He does not care. He's just there to scrap.
Yes, and you can bring in Chase whenever you like. We're ready for him. Fighting the first fight of the prelims against Alexander Hernandez, which is another great fight.
The feature bout of the prelims, can we call it that? There he is. Look at this guy.
It's the first fight of the prelims. What's up, Chase? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Just hanging out, having a good time.
Just hanging out, not eating.
Yeah, drinking less water now, but still a lot. Getting ready to start that weight cut.
I tell you what, though, your features look sharp. Though you look good.
Thank you. Hey, I appreciate it. I've been working with the PI, and they're toning me up, getting me a little more in shape than I have been, a little less fat. And
I think also you hit puberty too, so I think that was one of the things. But yeah, no,
I still no facial hair, but we're working on that.
It'll come.
How far before, like when you start cutting, how many? I guess maybe does it depend on the cut? How long does it take you normally to get where you want to go? Like week of the fight.
It's not fun, but it's very doable. And so it's just kind of tapering the water at this point in the week. Like I dropped it back from 2 gallons to 1 gallon today, and then tomorrow will be nothing. So I guess we kind of try and get the whole weight cut done in 24 hours. You don't want to just leave your body more dehydrated than it needs to be for too long. And about 24 hours of suffering, and then it's back to go time.
Can I ask you guys, what is the purpose of the 2 gallons and then 1 gallon, all that water loading? What exactly? How does that help?
Yeah. So it makes you like, obviously you pee a lot more, and it just makes your body, I don't know how much science there is to it, but I mean, I know the Performance Institute has us doing this specific water load, but it makes you produce a hormone that lets your body, get rid of all that water through pee, through
I
sweat.
think it's vasopressin. I'm saying it wrong, but
Hey,
yeah,
you got it.
so basically there's a hormone that allows your body to release water. And if you're not drinking water, your body says, "Oh, I need this water." It doesn't release vasopressin or whatever. So, again, this is the great thing about the PI. They have that figured out. And, it sounds like Chase knows what he's talking about. And also, he knows it works.
Yeah, I just try to listen to the people that are smarter than me, and
we were doing that
so far.
Day, Chase.
Yeah.
We just didn't really know why or exactly.
Yeah.
We just didn't have the exact numbers down as to why. We're like, is more better? I don't know. Turns out more is not better. There's a lot, but you don't need to go. Yeah. So
hey, again, it's the cool part about the sport. Like where we're at now, it's kind of culminating. It's becoming professional. It's not just like, cage fighting, cavemen. It's back
when I was doing it, it was a horrible thing.
Hey, well, I think on the local circuit, sure.
Sorry, I think that's why you see guys being successful a lot longer now. Like careers of guys who are like, again, Cannonier's 41, and he's fighting, and I think Venom Page is 37 or 38. Like guys are like not just kind of coming to the end, but like late 30s up into mid 40s. They're still like really dangerous and really viable fighters. I think that's all for the reasons you're talking about. It's all the science and the advancements in what they know.
Yeah, I think the brain health thing helps too. Like they have a whole procedure. Like if you get banged up in the fight, like this is how you're going to help heal your brain. And hey, I mean that's a huge part of this. So it's again just trusting the people that are smarter than me, that the ones doing the science, and I do the dumb guy part, and hey, everybody's happy.
Actually,
World goes around.
The hardest part, though, is what you're doing. Is to actually, well, I'm going to drink this water. I'm not going to eat this, or I'm going to eat that. It's very hard. Like the devil is in the details. They can tell you, to do X, Y, and Z, and this is what time, and this is how long you should stay. But doing those is a bitch. When they tell you, hey, it's 20 minutes in the sauna, and you get to 16, and you're like, I don't really want to be in here anymore. It's hard to stay that extra time. So that's where like the best plan in the world means nothing if you guys like you won't follow through with it, and you are. So you're going to have a lot of success. And you're 25. Yeah. It's always good to be 25.
Definitely. Appreciate that.
I feel like we've known you forever though, because you came on and you were kind of like the Fight Pass, that whole department's like, I don't know, golden child, or they're like, like their spirit animal or something. It was crazy.
I'm trying. I love the Fight Pass guys. Like they've given me a lot of opportunities, and they're just good dudes. Like that's what I love about the company is like, I've never met anybody that actually works for UFC that's like a dick. Everybody else is cool.
That's good. That's good, because there's a lot of dicks, and you've met them, but they were cool to you.
Well,
that's what matters.
mainly the fighters. Mainly the fighters.
Yeah. Hey, totally off topic, and it's fight week. This is a stupid question, but I'm a stupid guy, so I ask stupid questions. Are you ever gonna get down with some of that like UFC BJJ?
It sounded like
right.
It sounded like they weren't too keen on having fighters do it. I mean,
really?
And the other thing too is like I've done some grappling matches between fights, and I would love to do more, but I guess it's finding where it makes sense as far as like I would rather fight 3 times a year than fight twice a year and do a grappling match.
For sure. Yeah.
And then like even if I do a grappling match, I want to go against somebody else like me that's also doing MMA. Like they're not able to just fully commit their time to jiu-jitsu, because I've trained with some of those guys, and they're way better than I am, because all their focus is going to UFC or going to BJJ, where mine is, grappling and wrestling and striking and all that.
So it's a type of grappling. And then, well, if I elbow from here, this position doesn't necessarily work. And that's actually a really like a kind of a great point. If you think about it, like you don't want to just kind of stay there and sharpen what you're already good at. You want to continue to round out your striking skills, which your last couple of fights have shown that you really have,
Hey, appreciate that.
Is that a dog down there? Do you have a
Oh, it's my child.
It's your child. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
way to put that foot in your
she's
mouth.
got she's
Wait,
got
how's the child sleeping on fight week? How's that?
she slept pretty decent last night. There, she got like little like
Oh my
ponytail things. That's the
God.
doggish look. But yeah, I don't know. She might be getting a molar in, so we gave her some like Tylenol, baby Tylenol last night. But hey, that's the business. Like dad life doesn't stop for fights. You got to. It was before my last fight. Literally, the last thing I did before I left for the arena was change the baby's diaper. Like
Man.
she pooped, and it was like, "Hey, can you change her real quick?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got you."
Does
And
that help you in
hey.
a way? Like, because now you get, like, we were talking before about other things to think about. Sometimes it not takes your focus off, but it just kind of frees your mind up a little bit so you're not obsessing about something else because you have a more important responsibility right there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I enjoy like going into fights and still living as normal of a life as I can instead of like this huge, schedule shift and like nothing's the same. Like, because I've done fights where like my wife didn't come until, later or whatever, or like she was in her own room until after. And I don't know, it's just more pressure and like more just stuff to throw you off. So I feel like I've been enjoying like just hanging out with my family. Like I let the team, like all the fighters and stuff, they go off, they walk around town, they have fun. And, I'm here doing the family stuff. And, yeah, I don't know. I enjoy living a normal life as much as I can on fight week.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And then it almost, to me, I did that a couple times where I actually stayed in my own house with my
Ooh,
wife and child.
that'd be
And
nice.
because I was fighting in Vegas, beautiful.
Yeah.
And it literally was just kind of like, oh, now I'm going to go down to work. It's just like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
go to work right now. It's cool. It's kind of a cool
For
feel.
sure. Yeah.
How do you sleep when if the baby is crying? Are you a good enough sleeper to just throw on headphones and conk out?
I try. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But the wife's picking up the slack a lot this week, so she's the one getting up with the baby and making sure she gets put back to sleep.
It'll be worth her while after you win, get the extra money. It'll be worth her while. You'll make it up to her.
Yeah, it's the business side of things, and I get to be on dad duty. The other 50 weeks of the year, and then these 2 weeks. This one. And maybe one more fight. I don't know if we can before the end of the year, but a couple weeks where I gotta be a little more selfish, and then other than that, I try to help out as much as I can.
That's well put. Well put.
Thank you.
Hey,
What
give
do
us
you?
give us
Okay,
your
okay.
thoughts. Sorry, yeah, I was just wondering. Apparently you're fighting this Hernandez kid. What are your thoughts on him? We have a lot of footage of him. He's had some high highs. He's had some low lows. So I really don't. I never know what to make of him.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's a guy, and I remember watching some of the tape. The commentators were talking about how he mentioned like winning that Dariush fight on his debut was like the worst thing that could have happened for his career. As far as like you win a big fight against a guy like either in the rankings or just outside, and then it's like where do you go from here? You got to keep fighting tough guys. So that's kind of I think part of the issue for his career starting off, and there's definitely an adjustment period to get into the UFC. But we're both kind of in a similar position as far as like we've had a good similar number of fights. Both have won some, lost some. I'm on a better tear here at 55 than at 45. But no, he's a tough fight for sure. But I think he's a little step up from Miller. But as far as his striking power goes, but I think I can out grapple him, and I think I can out cardio him. So I just need to not get knocked out, not get TKO, not get subbed, and try to do the those things to him.
What is something you like? You said you could eat something you like. Like, again, you guys having like a cheat meal is a lot different than what I consider a cheat. What is something that you like that you're like, oh wow, I'm really glad I can actually eat this?
Yeah. So honestly, what they did for my fight camp was they just gave me like calories and like I guess like the macros a little bit. So it was just like try to have this much protein, carbs, fat, whatever, and this many calories. So like if earlier in the camp, like I had a piece of pizza here and there, like, or, having some Oreos, but it's like weighing them out, measuring them, like not as many as I'd like to have, but like a handful, or like a good Jersey Mike's sub, if you're into that, I like those. That I would do like before sparring, but it's just whatever will fit in the macros. And, it's cool to be able to still enjoy myself and have like some desserts, have some sweets and stuff, and still see the number on the scale going down.
I guess that makes it more tolerable, right? Like you don't feel like you're giving up everything that makes life decent.
Yeah, and they were telling me too. They're like, well, this will help you not get so big between camp if you're not depriving yourself for so long.
Rebound effect for sure.
Yeah, because I've had some rough ones. I've got pretty fat between fights, so try not to do that this time around.
And Chase, we've been asking people too because this is Fanatics is partnered up with UFC, so we'll ask fighters once in a while if there was any athlete that you could get an autograph from. Is there anyone that would come to mind? We've gotten some interesting answers from guys, living or dead, it doesn't matter. But if you could meet an athlete and get an autograph, who would you choose?
Ooh, I still like the biggest guy that I was a fan of as a kid, and like the only fighter that I've ever asked to take a picture with was Chuck Liddell. I'd go for him. Just the OG. Like I used to have a mohawk back in the day, and yeah, I like Chuck. He's a good dude, but yeah, it'd be a cool autograph to have.
Yeah, but at least you got the picture.
Yeah, for sure.
So you don't ask guys when you meet them. Are there any times where you want to, but you're like, I just can't?
No, I mean, I try to treat most people like normal, say, how's it going? Especially like around here. Like I was signing posters with Hamzat and, just like, I don't know, just a little small talk. It's not like, my biggest thing, and this is what I'll tell some of the guys when they're newer, is like, act like you've been here before. Like, don't pretend to be a tourist, because then you're going to be in and out quick. Like, pretend like this is normal, and then it'll be normal at some point.
Those are very wise words there.
Yeah.
No, it's very true. Yeah. No, you kind of you do in essence make your own reality in that regard. Like you gotta believe that you belong there. Even sometimes, and I've seen a lot of guys do it, they believe it before it's even true, and then it becomes true.
Believe, conceive, achieve. Luke Rockhold, Michael Bisping.
Conceive, achieve. Well, look, this is your 12th UFC fight. It's crazy.
Yeah.
5. And Matt and I have talked before with how together you are. You're just a together guy, married with a baby, doing things right. Like you're just living a really good life. And good luck on this fight, man. This is a very interesting fight. Like you said, Alexander Hernandez is sometimes phenomenal, other times looks like he can be beaten. Like so.
Hopefully it's the latter when I get in there with him.
There you go.
It's always fun talking to you, man. It's always great watching you fight. You're just such a dynamic fighter. So have a great one, Chase.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Great talking to you guys.
All right, buddy. Take care. I was interested too. I didn't want to ask him too many brain questions, but the brain health thing is very interesting. So are they doing something different when guys get knocked out than they used to do?
Yeah. There's a whole return to. We actually got a return to MMA protocol. One time you should have, Heather and Charles, so our head of sports dietetics and our head of sports medicine, physical therapy. So they've kind of collaborated with the Cleveland Brain Health, study, it was Cleveland Clinic, and they've come up with like a return protocol, just anti-inflammatories, even like creatine on fight day is going to be good for your head taking some trauma, right? You're going to want to cut creatine before it will make you retain a little water, i.e. muscle glycogen, but then you want to kind of load it up to get in your brain on the fight day. And then you follow that up. And there's even some diet stuff as far as what you should eat. And then they send out a whole brain pack to the guys. And now they've got, like an evaluation, they've got check-ins, they've got a lot of testing they do. And then they've even got some they're relating it to neck measures and kind of where you go from there. So they've got a whole return to training, and they can actually hey, slow down. And, they do it by heart rate. They do it before, so you're ready for that contact. Again, nobody said the sport was easy, but there's intelligent ways to participate in. I felt like that was a pretty good statement right there. It's very.
You're right. Yeah, that's
very
exactly
bland statement I just gave.
Also, that was a very good statement to the press. It was
exactly. Yeah.
No questions. No questions.
It's like, wait, let me put my PI hat on. What the hell am I saying here?
There's, another reason they might not, because UFC The BJJ is really exciting. I've watched. Who's the kid? Thackett.
Yeah, Andrew Thackett, the Thacketts, the brothers. Yeah, they're phenomenal.
A first round sub.
So I think he fought Canuto last time.
Yeah.
That was, and I'm not a huge grappling fan, I'll be honest. I don't love guys play footsie over and over. It kind of scares me. It scares me sometimes and bores me at the same time, which is weird. But I will say that was 4 minutes and 20 seconds of the best grappling I've ever seen. And if you haven't seen it, check it out.
Yeah.
It's the last BJJ, UFC BJJ. The main event was 4 minutes and about 20 seconds of the best action-packed, on the edge of your seat, barn burner, as what's his name described it, that I've ever seen. And, and then we got the submission too. So, and I knew I was watching that. I was like, there's no way these guys are doing this for 15 minutes.
Right.
This is not humanly possible. So
we had him on that week, and he said he hates that too. He hates the butt scooting and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And he said he was going to be aggressive, and he wanted it to be aggressive. And it was. And one reason they probably don't want fighters doing it, a couple of reasons. First of all, injury. Like, you know, the guy getting his
long
knee.
term, that's a 9-month, 10-month recovery. You pop that knee. It's just kind of fun to get a competition rep, though.
Yeah.
Because you're still going to make weight. You're still going to feel the fight day pressure. You're still going to want to achieve. And so it's just kind of fun to almost get a fight day rep, but with a little less pressure. But anyway, go ahead.
But don't you? No, but you're right. But don't you have to work almost against? It's like they always say, like, it's very hard for an MMA fighter when he starts boxing, because not only you're fighting a guy who only boxes, you have to remove a couple of your weapons, like your instinct to kick or to grapple or to say, like, you have to fight that instinct. So if you're doing BJJ and you're in a position where you could drop an elbow, you have to fight the instinct. So I think it's much harder to go back to pure grappling from MMA.
For sure. In fact, you spend a lot of time making sure that you have those instincts put in, because a lot of times you do a grappling session twice a week, minimal striking. You wear the gloves, but you're touching. You're not like punching the crap out of each other. You're just showing this is in an effective position because I can punch you from here. But hey, how nice were those guys? The guys we talked to, just for the audience, those guys are in the middle of, dropping their weight for competition. Yeah. They're in the middle of, the most important thing in their life, and they gave us a little time. That's very nice of those guys.
But they're typically, we've talked to Geoff many times and Chase, and they're just legitimately nice guys.
I guess I kind of just wanted to point out that those are two of the nicer guys you can hope.
Yes, they are.
Fight week. There used to be this guy, you may have heard of him. I think his name was Forrest Griffin or something like that. But he was a really nice guy, unless you caught him on fight week, and then he was just an absolute nightmare. Yeah,
it's funny. I don't necessarily agree with that he was a nice guy part.
Okay, but the second part, 100% true.
But no, it's funny you say that on fight week, because when I would do the radio show, which is when we first met, the morning radio show on Sirius, I would a lot of times get fighters to show me moves, like, again, at a low level, just to see what an armbar felt like, or just like Cain Velasquez put me in a fucking choke, and it was awful. And John Jones, he might have been fighting Chael, but I asked him to do a kick to the thigh, and he choked me and he kicked me to the thigh, and it fucked my leg up. But it was fight week, and that was a really bad time to ask a guy to do something like that on fight week. And I always remember, like, that was a bad time to ask him. Because guys are in a weird mood fight week.
No, he took it out on you a little bit. He took it out on you.
He did, and I probably would have too if I were him. I mean, but I tell you one thing, it gives you an appreciation. Like, when you ever see Fabricio Verdum kick that reporter?
Oh, no, I haven't, but
it's the guy asked him to, like, just to see, and he kicked him a lot harder than Jones kicked. Jones didn't kick me that hard. I'm a pussy. But he threw a fucking kick to this reporter. And the reporter looked like he was going to pass out. He fell, and he looked like he was going to throw up. I felt like I was going to throw up when I got kicked.
Yeah, Verdum is a psychopath too, though. Look, man. He didn't fall into fighting on accident. He's like Chimaev. These guys are here for a reason. Like, this is where they belong. Like, Chimaev loves to be in the cage, and look, that little look he gives. Verdum's another one, man. Like, he likes to fight. Like, I saw him knock a guy out and then kind of laugh about it. And I was like, wow, that's a guy. I was like, isn't that guy your friend? Like, you just knocked your friend out. You're laughing. Like, wow.
I don't know if I've met him. I think Reed Harris introduced me to him once because I was a fan, so I wanted to meet him. But I don't think I've ever even interviewed him. But I wouldn't ask him.
Profession. Let's put it that way. He found the right profession.
Yes, he certainly did. And look, this what a card. Let's promote the card before we.
Yes.
Oh, it is this Saturday, 319, and every time we say it, but it really is. I'm a UFC fan, man. Like I get to talk to people, but I fucking love. I watch every card. I mean, I just love that I don't have to pay for the pay-per-view. That's my big perk.
Yeah, no, it's
company. Duplessis Shemaev, that's the 16th, of course, from Chicago. 6 o'clock, early prelims, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus. Prelims, 8 o'clock, ESPN Plus, and Disney Plus. Main card, ESPN Plus, pay-per-view at 10. And dude, from top to bottom, Barboza.
10, so that's 7 my time, 7 Western.
Eastern, yeah, I don't acknowledge Western time. I don't Pacific.
I see.
Only New York.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, I only do Vegas, so that's.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. I'm always like, what? Actually, I'll do East Coast or West Coast, but the middle of the country, I'm just confused.
I ignore it. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
What is before I let you go, what is your favorite thing? Like I'm looking at Barboza. I love leg kickers. Because it's just such when a guy is beating up legs, it's so fucking like Jose Aldo, what he did to Uriah Faber in that fight. What is your favorite thing to watch somebody do?
Oh, gosh, technique wise, I mean, leg kicks are up there. I'm always interested in the calf kick just because it's pretty novel. And it doesn't work so well in practice because if we both have shin guards on, it's not as devastating. But I'm a really big fan of like the fighting nerd spinny shit right now. I like it because, it's hard, but it's hard to land. It's technically hard, but it's also devastating if it lands. So I'm a big fan of the spinny stuff. I wish I'd tried more spinny stuff in my day.
You must like Magomedov then. All those spinning fists he throws. He's a fun guy to watch.
Yeah, no, he is fun. It was fun. I was actually just watching him and MVP again, actually, just because I saw the highlights and I was like, let me see how that fight went, because that was again interesting matchmaking. Like I want to know.
He won that fight, I think, right?
MVP won. Yeah, MVP won definitely, but Magomedov actually came back in the third round a little bit. So.
Great card. Again, let's just say the co-main, Lerone Murphy against Aaron Pico, incredible co-main. Featured bout, Prates against Geoff Neal. Cannonier Michael Page, another fucking an amazing fight. And Asakura against Tim Elliott. You're right, Tim Elliott's a nightmare matchup for anybody. He seems like he's very difficult to train for. It's probably difficult to get a guy to mimic his style. It's like getting a guy to mimic MVP. You can get maybe a Wonder Boy or somebody who can do that, but not easy.
No.
Forrest, thank you. I just want to promote one thing. I'm going to be in North Carolina and South Carolina in a couple of weeks, early September. So if you want, go to my website and come see me. And
a lot of flesh-eating bacteria in those places. Just be careful.
Well, that's if you jump into a pond or any still water. I stay out of still water.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't fuck with ponds.
You stay out of water altogether. From what I hear, you don't even shower.
I do, but you don't want to know what it's with.
There we go.
Thanks, buddy. It's always good talking to you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care, Forrest.
All right, guys. Bye.
Yeah, bye.